This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll, as always. It is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, the search for a Grand Bahama man has ended on a positive note. Following our story yesterday concerning missing resident Emmett Collins, the family says their prayers have been answered as Collins has been found alive. Now, while the mystery surrounding his whereabouts have not yet been solved, the president of a local organization says that a disturbing fact has emerged. Joan Davis Roll has more.
Someone have to have some kind of passion and concern for the young men of our nation, because the too many are being destroyed.
It is a startling reality, the state of what appears to be an increasing number of males on Grand Bahama, young men who are said to be in crisis. President of Mothers Against Crime Minister Teresita Jones says it was during the search for a missing relative, mentally challenged 33-year-old Emmett Collins, that our eyes were opened to a troubling situation here on Grand Bahama.
We were on the streets looking for him, and it's amazing to see how many young men walking the street in that same condition. I would really appeal to the wider community, especially the church, to come out of the four walls and go in the streets and see if we can get some of these men back in the church, or some help, because there's too many of the young men that are walking the streets and their mind are not, at ease.
She recounted the many years Collins's mothers had to endure trials and tribulations, the countless challenges associated with raising her once normal child as he turned into an uncontrollable youth. Minister Jones says too many of our young men are literally losing their minds to drugs and other social ills, and their plight, she stated, must be addressed.
I was more than shocked to see so many on the streets as we go through. We went from, we started in Garden Villas and we ended up in Midshipman Road, and everywhere you see them walking and talking to themselves, some walking without shoes, some don't even have a shirt on their bodies, and very smelly. Grand Bahama is in a serious condition when it comes to a young man.
Joan Davis Roll, ZNS Network News.
Today is a significant day for women around the world, a time to reflect on the progress made by women, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the growth and development of their countries. The theme this year is Women in the Changing World of Work, Planet 50-50 by 2030. Now, many women have taken part in this global initiative by committing themselves to bringing change in the world. According to the United Nations, some key targets of the 2030 agenda includes the elimination of all forms of discrimination against women and girls everywhere, eliminating all forms of violence against women and girls in the public and private spheres, including trafficking and sexual and other types of exploitation, as well as the elimination of all harmful practices such as child, early and forced marriage, and female genital mutilation. Switching gears now, a local primary school principal singled out for a top award. The female educator is viewed as a role model in the profession, and for that, she was given special recognition by the Bahamas Union of Teachers Grand Bahama District. Kimberly Mullings has more.
Educator Jacqueline Pinder was given the Donald Simonet Award for Good Industrial Relations during the Night of Legends banquet at the Bahamas Union of Teachers Hall. She was humbled to be the recipient of such a prestigious award.
I realize it's so key in value, making people feel of worth and value. And I believe that because I have a love for my job, I love people, I love children. I think that is an ingredient that has basically drawn them to me. And I try to lead by example. That means being a positive role model for them.
Pinder is currently the principal of Walter Parker Primary School and the immediate past president of the Principals and Vice Principals Association. She says her experiences in both the private and public sectors of education over the years have all been worthwhile.
I've had lots of good experiences and bad mixed together, and they have all worked out for my good and for God's glory. It has been an honor actually to work in the public and private system, but also to be in a school like Walter Parker, a school of excellence, because I believe it is fair to say that they have brought up the best, the very best in my leadership. And so I'm grateful to them for their participation in helping me to become the leader that I have become.
Pinder was also given the Donaldson Net Award because she is viewed by her peers as an exemplary leader and an excellent manager, some of which she credits to a good friend of hers.
I have gleaned a lot from Mrs. Edgecombe, who was a mentor of mine, and also a homegirl from Eleuthera. It was an awesome joy to work with her, because she also was the essence of professionalism. She also was a people person, and I realized that is one of the keys to being an effective and proficient leader.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Now, the legendary educators honored were Cecil Thompson, Hezekiah Dean, and Clarence Carroll, as well as the late Sandra Edgecombe and Mary Knabb. Switching gears now, the Free National Movement naming its remaining 5 of 39 candidates to contest constituencies throughout the Bahamas in the upcoming general election. Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe received the nomination for West Grand Bahama and Bimini. FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis was ratified for Killarney. Former Deputy Prime Minister Brent Simonet was ratified for the St. Anne's constituency. Shenandoah Cartwright got the nod for the St. Barnabas constituency. Now also securing a nomination was Senior Manager for Radio at ZNS, Vaughn Miller, who was ratified to run in Golden Isles. He replaces former candidate Kenyatta Gibson, who withdrew last week. In other news, a new unique business venture that has been in the making for the past 5 years was recently launched on Grand Bahama Island. Our Kimberly Mullings tells us that owners say that they are ready to service the public in style.
This is going to revolutionize the way that we as locals have fun and love ourselves.
Custom Made Tours is a premier limo bus service on Grand Bahama. CEO and co-founder Navarre Smith, along with his team, plan to offer residents and tourists alike a one-of-a-kind experience on a locally purchased bus that was transformed.
The limo bus on the inside has amenities and features like no other bus, tricked right out with flat screen TVs, a great lighting and sound system, DJ booth, a wet bar. So I can't even explain. The inside is just amazing. When you walk on the bus, you're going to feel like you're in a different zone. And we took our time. We used local talent to build the bus, from body men to electricians to mechanics to carpenters, welders, you name it.
Smith got the vision back in 2012 for Custom Made Tours. He says over the years, the CMT team recognized the opportunity to invest in Grand Bahama, and as such, they pool their resources, talents, and networks to turn this vision to reality.
From that point to now, I've been working extremely hard to get the business plan together, doing the research, and to raise the funds, of course. And what's so beautiful about it is that this project was entirely made in Grand Bahama. This is a Grand Bahamian project through and through. All of my partners are Grand Bahamians, young, dynamic, outstanding Bahamians who grew up on this island, who have a passion for this place. And even though some may look at our economy as being in a depressed state, we see the potential.
Smith confidently adding that this is only the beginning for Custom Made Tours. The team is interested in expanding.
We're starting with one bus, and I always tell my partners we see this as a seed that's going to bear fruit to eventually a fleet of unique and outstanding buses. And in fact, we are already in the process of working on a second bus. And we already have bookings, we already have a huge interest, and it's a beautiful thing right now.
As it stands, Smith noted that Custom Made Tours will employ over 15 persons in its first phase. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Now, for more information, feel free to visit their Facebook page at Custom Made Tours. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.